Welcome everyone to another live stream. I hope we are live. Let's just check. Yeah, we should be live with the magic of Web 2.0. Viewers recently told me maybe I shouldn't procrastinate here so much and focus on some business makers and earn some freaking money, and certainly a very good choice. What I not only every day do, but also today did. Why does this show 8 Mbit? Always something. And that reminded me, wait a second, why do we stream? What the heck, why is this 7 point? I mean, right now it works. This is a bitrate. Come on, always something. And so this reminded me the usual running your company here of Exa code with some Mac software and stuff if you're not doing open source Linux stuff that nobody pays for. And this reminded me about some story I wanted to tell for quite some months already, because just recently I found a solution for some major macOS slowdown. And this is also a story of this macOS stuff. So first of all, macOS is not bug-free and certainly does not just work. And in contrast to what many people always think. And for us developing, you've seen this here at Exa code, which probably also could throw in for some good shameless self-promotion. If you're not, again, if you're not doing unsuccessful open source stuff, then Exact Scan OCR Kit here, this award-winning and otherwise amazing paperless office stuff. And certainly we unfortunately still have some Macs, and accessing network shares over the last decade became increasingly an issue. So initially, like a decade ago, that just, well, worked mostly with Samba, with our own T2 Linux, obviously on the server side. And then over the years, like again, 10 years ago, this just worked. And maybe at the time Steve Jobs passed away or something, because then even here you find on Apple's own website adjusting SMB browsing behavior for macOS High Sierra 10.13 of, also they recommend, because for the bloody Finder view stuff, defaults write common Apple desktop services, DS don't write network shares true. What this means is not writing this bloody, anyway highly inconvenient .ds, ds whatever, this bloody files. And do they even have this here, ds whatever, ds store, obviously. Not sure if it's ds desktop, or it doesn't matter what it is. Anyway, so what this files anyway piss me off majorly. If you're not using macOS, you have, first of all, you double all your files, which should be X attribute metadata, but anyway. So it didn't help much. Maybe this article 10.13 also already a while ago. It made this maybe tiny little bit better, not super amazingly, and you need to do this for all clients. And it became increasingly a pain, so much to, for example, for our invoices from our online store, when you order here, for example, with PayPal, this amazing one-of-a-kind scan software with over 500 nicely reverse engineered drivers in there. And so what we do is generate these invoices automatically, obviously, and doing this with our own stuff. So to the point that generating the invoices, which we did on a account and client side, when this is important, because sometimes there's always refunds and this and that, and sometimes price match. So someone at us usually once a week selects this PayPal stuff and generates invoices or adjusts some manually of refund and price match and making customers super happy. And so this script, which was generating the invoices from PayPal transactions, was slowing down significantly. So this was looking in a folder in this share, like our invoices 2020 or so, looking for the next invoice, which was a shell loop, because in a shell loop. And so even this took like 7 seconds, right? So a small company, so it's, some years ago we had 100 invoices. And also, we have all our invoices like 1 year in one directory, like 2020. And I think this is quite reasonable. If you have better suggestions, let me know. But for our medium-sized company, like a couple of 10,000 files a year should probably be fine, right? I've tried different things. I found everything else less convenient, like from 0 to 10,000 in my opinion, still relatively okay. Also, another lesson learned, right? 2020, you can't have 10,000 invoices in a directory, which probably is somewhat sort of reasonable, I would say. But yeah, so macOS totally breaks down from over 100 files on, this is latest and greatest, right? A couple of years, like, even when this was new, right? 6-year-old Retina MacBook Pro, out of the box, what is it, even quad core or something with hyper-threading. Out of the box, super slow, right? Unusable. So with over 100 files per directory in a local area network, right? Gigabit Ethernet, with high performance like T2 optimized in the latest and greatest Samba file server. From 100 files in directory, it becomes completely annoying. Like constant, like this Finder takes 10 seconds to open the directory. If you have the file save panel, that is totally sluggish, starts to take 5, 6, 7, 10 seconds. So with 1,000 files, like small company like we have more, we are reaching some 10,000 of invoices, but if you're wondering how unsuccessful one-man YouTuber that is here. And so with 1,000 invoices, some decade ago, this became completely unusable. This took like over 10 seconds. Also, yeah, 2012 and 15 is like, yeah, 20 seconds for your latest and greatest high-end Macs to access a high-end file server. Completely hilarious in my opinion, completely inexcusable. And over the years I tried a lot. I tried to tune network stuff. Over the years often Googled stuff, what do we have here? All right, also I think AFP, so I even considered some 5 years ago, I even considered going the Apple file system protocol, but that is now deprecated, so this is 2020. So yeah, I'm not sure if I packaged that. There is some Apple file protocol stuff, but that is deprecated. Is this AFP is officially deprecated? Not yet dead, but yeah, so that was already many years ago, so I didn't even bother trying that if it's deprecated. I'm not migrating our latest and greatest stuff to deprecated stuff. Just where are my drop frames here? 0 frames, amazing stuff. So at one point over the years I optimized, because this was unusable, right? Your accountant crew, your store team wants to open an invoice, wants to send an invoice, and this is also a story of this Apple hashtag peakbugs, right? Do I make this stuff up? No, I've run a company, you have seen this, I have my Linux distribution, but for the desktop side, not only do we have Mac products, and yeah, long story short and ironically, our Mac projects over the years took over 90% of our, founded as open source, embedded, and after some years your Mac products make 90% of the revenue. But these are real, so this peak bugs of big corporations like Microsoft and Apple cause real losses, right? They cost real money, and not on Apple's side, because Apple fan was always like Apple the latest and greatest. But these companies, each and everyone, small home office, you at home, every small company, and this is frustrating, right? So this is a decade-long stuff of each year, this macOS, CIFS, Common Internet File Server, Samba, SMB, server, message block 3, whatever stuff. Each year it became slower and slower, slower and slower. I actually optimized the heck out of the invoice processing stuff. It's impressive. So I made our invoice generating stuff that our store team uses, because Shell and Lua technology here, that you can actually freaking debug and read and write and stuff. And even your accounting, non-IT accounting people could sometimes make a small change because it's readable. Shell and Lua, like human, and also memory safety, right? No buffer over and under runs. So optimizations. So this is using an OpenOffice template and generating OpenOffice, and you also using LibreOffice and using LibreOffice to write the PDF, fully automated, obviously, because we are IT company. And yeah, you could do it in 500 million ways, and as usual, leave me in the comments below what you think are the super most amazing ways. But the optimizations were certainly starting with the next invoice number, right? Initially, when we were a small company, we only had some 1,000 invoices. It was just enough to iterate the invoice numbers and find the next one. And a decade ago, that was fast enough. Now, as slow as macOS became, and with this peak bugs, obviously caching this, right, have a .last invoice number in the directory, and it start iterating from that. Like someone might manually place their invoice or whatever. And yeah, you could have freaking database systems or whatever, but we keep it small and stupid and debuggable and simple. So yeah, this is already an improvement of a factor of 10 to 50, depending on how slow your macOS version is and how many invoices you have. And the next thing is also the generating Bash and Lua stuff was generating the target file in the network share and simply not making this generate this in the network share, because this is creating a directory for the OpenOffice or LibreOffice open document format stuff, which is then zipped together, and so writing the template, adding the invoice content, and then later generating or zipping it and generating the PDF. A lot of file operations like open, read, write for multiple processes and stuff. Just moving this in a local temp folder. So like touching the to generated invoice number for avoiding race conditions, and then generating the file, and then at the end moving it over another speed up of over 10 times. So in all, just optimizing the invoice generation over 100 times speed up. But this still didn't fix, so this improved the situation here with this the slowest file shares. And this is also so hilarious, right? We have quad cores, we have iMac Pros and Mac Pros and trash cans and whatnot, and yet we sit here and wait freaking 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I mean, this is really like 21, 22, so you wait here. I mean, who wants in 2020 you freaking wait for your latest and greatest high tech or high trash from Corpentino to show you a bloody save dialog, or if you want to send the invoice to the customer, going there through the invoice. I mean, then this takes like 5 minutes just finding a freaking invoice. And so just some months ago, I finally found one thing to majorly fix this and speed this up, which is also hilarious that very few people know this. So if you browse the internet, you find all kinds of adjusting this, of tuning network, whatever, of TCP this and that, and well, mostly of course this year and directory caching and whatnot. Most of this stuff worked next to nothing. You can forget about this. The real fix is this one, and this is hilarious. So it turns out, I didn't even know that until I found this fix. So it turns out Apple is using proprietary, because Apple being Apple, implemented proprietary extensions to SMB for this macOS fluff. And there is since some years an Samba, open source Samba. It's even in the Samba code base. It's even built. I just didn't. Had I followed my own guidelines of reading the freaking sources, I might have found this earlier, like just reading Samba sources. But yeah, so there is some Fruit plugin, because you don't call it Apple, you call it Fruit. I slightly wonder. I wanted actually to internet search of Samba Fruit when this was introduced. Patch, or maybe we should actually how old it is. So at Fruit something etc. Not sure if this was whenever this was introduced. It existed already some years. So long story short, what happened? So first of all, macOS wants this bloody proprietary extension, and it's also not warning. I find this also so disgusting that Apple shows the Finder icon for SMB share as a Windows blue screen here. This is in multiple ways disgusting, in my opinion. Also, this doesn't scroll down. Yeah, it's this one. You see that there, or there. And so I find this disgusting in multiple ways. Can we also? Maybe I should actually click on that and see if that there. And so I find this disgusting because we have a freaking Linux server, not a bloody Windows machine. And last but not least, macOS themselves have in the meantime much more crashing peak bugs than certainly Linux, but maybe even Windows. So this is really disgusting, right? Making fun of other people when macOS in the meantime is the most bloody peak bugs OS release. And last but not least, instead of playing this prank here on Mac users, they should have shown, if they would have shown this SMB server does not support vitally important SMB extensions for macOS. I would have known this already 7 years ago or 5 years, whenever they started to do that. Instead of living and wasting our time and my money and paying people of staring 20 seconds every minute on bloody file, save and open dial panels. So what this is doing, it's also, yeah, Apple, so fruit Apple stuff and metadata streams, and so this is mostly about metadata. I've not really looked too precisely what exactly, by the way, maybe we should have found that in what exactly that does here. It's mostly about metadata also, and I tried this already, right? Some many years ago I tried already to use like support metadata streams that also are supported in Windows for various like X attributes for this Finder data of view arrangements and file types and whatnot. Enhanced compatibility with Apple SMB clients, interoperability with MetaTalk 3 AFP server should be stacked with character conversion, must be stacked with VFS streams X attributes. So I tried this already, so this alone didn't really do much. This should theoretically prevent like this bloody .ds store files to maybe appear. Never really worked for me, probably because it needs this proprietary Apple Fruit extensions there around there. Alternative data stream support for share intercepts OS X special streams, AFP info and AFP resource, and handle them in a special way. All named streams deferred. All other named streams are deferred to VFS. Streams attributes must be loaded together with VFS Fruit. Be careful mixing this and having shares. So yeah, here you have it. This is the real deal. This is what fixed that for us, and it's still not amazing, but I would say this speeds it up dramatically. So this is like I optimized Linux server and SSD caching. People asked me as other stream SSD caching. Yes, we're losing this even on this accounting office share and stuff, because yeah, I tried to add an SSD cache because certainly that helps something, but yeah, apparently you need freaking Fruit proprietary stuff. OS X maps NTFS illegal characters to the Unicode private range in SMB requests. So yeah, amazing stuff. By setting Fruit encoding native, all mapped characters are converted to the native ASCII characters. Finally, share access modes are optionally checked against NetterTalk. Sharing something, looking Fruit NetterTalk model is stackable, yeah, something, yada yada, whatever. So this is a thing that helped dramatically. I only found this, I think, this year, not too long time ago. But I also wanted to share this useful tips. And the whole situation not amazing, and not because I want to always say everything's not amazing, but this is really not amazing, right? Each operating system, like Apple and Microsoft, having their proprietary stuff. Although I'm surprised they deprecated AFP, Apple File Protocol stuff, and use SMB for whatever strange reason, or maybe they decided at Apple, we don't care about this legacy interoperability and we will just do iPad OS and have proprietary cloud file stuff anyway or something. But, and also that you Google and you need years to eventually discover the real. As per usual, you Google this, you only find random crap that doesn't help a shit and just wastes your time and doesn't change a thing. And only by pure chance and accident. And I hope this video helps people to discover this. And so yeah, this is the thing. Fruit Apple, in case you were wondering. And yeah, significantly faster, certainly. So with 10,000 files, it's not super snappy, but it's workable. Before it was, without that, it's not workable. Over 100 files a directory. I think I also read somewhere that there is some error recovery, maybe I read this on some Apple mailing list or something, that this becomes so super slow because macOS tries to do something like this proprietary additional method stuff of AFP info and AFP resource stuff of alternative data streams. And I read somewhere that like it's restarting then constantly and rescanning the directory or something. Samba, do we find this instantly? macOS client slow. Maybe this restart. So what I read there, I can believe that this is true because also, yeah, do I make this stuff up? No, just Google this. You will find like each and every one's like Apple, macOS and cifs like bloody slow. It's like, yeah, and how to fix slow transfers on, yeah. So basically what I read on when I researched this some months ago, and they said like if you don't run this and macOS gets an error like trying this, where do I have this now? Trying this ADS, alternative data stream stuff with Apple proprietary whatever stuff, and it gets an error or it doesn't get what it expects, then it's closing the connection, restarting it or something, and invalidating the directory cache and redoing it and something. And as slow it was for us until I found this, I can certainly believe that. I'm not going to network capture that and analyze this, but this is so hilarious. From it does not just bloody work, you are running your SMB file server wrong, and it's like, yeah, waste of time and money. And but last but not least, the whole situation basically boils down to macOS stuff does not just work. I said this before, my Retina MacBook Pro full of peak bugs, especially with the 4K display. It doesn't reliably wake up on the 4K display, most likely due to the earlier 4K MST display. But hey, this is a big mega corporation, right? One of the richest companies, and they sell their Macs and computers as the most outstanding, and then it can't even reliably wake up with a 4K MST display plugged in. And they never fix this. I sent so many crash reports in, and so on. Basically for 6 years I live with that, and many other stuff of bugs and whatnot. It's hilarious. Also multitasking, right? I made a previous video, modern Cocoa stuff, not multi-thread ready and stuff. It's also in general a little bit hilarious. So with our own microkernel talk here and multi-server stuff, it's also hilarious in my opinion that even if this network stuff is slow for some reason, that it completely hangs, right? So modern software on quad-core, octa-core, 16-core, 32 threads, whatever the heck might be, you can't even use applications while in the background they access 100 or 1,000 files on network share. This programming is really not state-of-the-art, not top-notch. Even if something is slow and failing, think you are on a Wi-Fi, like this is gigabit Ethernet stuff here, but Wi-Fi or even on a VPN at home in this analog virus times, and you need to access your company. Yeah, good luck accessing your companies. It's already slow on a local gigabit Ethernet, and then good luck accessing that on the go through a VPN or something. But yeah, this is what I wanted to share, some real business stuff. Maybe we make another live stream of other amazing development. I just wanted to talk about this topic. I hope this lifestyle is somewhat sorted and helps people. But basically, it anyway just boils down to using this. The rest is just surrounding business, and stuff just does not just work. Core Tuffle writes, ZFS, YouTube video, ZFS metadata, special device, and you. Anyway, I hope you learned something, and thanks for tuning in. Let's see how many people did we have quite some people watching. So yeah, just regular business stories of you are holding it wrong, you are network share it wrong, and stuff not just working, and hashtag recurring theme peak bugs.